Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.
This is Autoline Daily for July 15th, 2010. Oh my gosh, we're already halfway through the month. And now the news. Interesting management changes at Ford. Jim Farley, who was running global marketing as well as operations in Latin America, will surrender those operational duties and see his marketing role expanded to include global sales and service. Eduardo Serrano will take over those operations in Latin America and Mexico and will report to Executive Vice President Mark Fields. In other developments, as we've been reporting here for months, Steve Odell will leave Volvo and take over as CEO of Ford of Europe. Remember him? I keep pointing out that Steve Odell was the guy who started the Zoom Zoom campaign when he was at Mazda. The exec who had been running Ford of Europe, John Fleming, will move to Ford headquarters in Dearborn, Michigan, to take over global manufacturing and labor relations for the company. You know, I find these to be very interesting changes, and we'll be talking more about them tonight on Autoline After Hours. The problem started in Japan, but now it's spread to the U.S. Nissan had to halt production of several plants in Japan because it cannot get engine computers from its supplier Hitachi, and now it's closing 2 plants in the U.S. and could close them in Mexico as well. And Hitachi stopped shipping those engine computers because it cannot get the right integrated circuits from its supplier, ST Microelectronics, which is headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. ElectronicsWeekly.com reports that the ASIC, or Application-Specific Integrated Circuit, controls the fuel injection in cars like the Sentra and Altima. IndyCar announced the new chassis that teams will start using in 2012, and once again, it's going to be a Dallara. According to Autoblog, the Dallara beat out other entries from BAT, Lola, Swift, and even this wild concept from Delta Wing. The new chassis is 185 pounds lighter, weighing a total of 1,380 pounds. IndyCar will allow teams to modify the bodywork, which includes aero kits for front and rear wings, side pods, and engine covers. The cost of the chassis is only $350,000, which is nearly half the cost of the current one. And with the engine, IndyCar estimates the cost of the race car at less than $1 million. China's auto industry has been booming for the last several years, and a new report suggests that will continue for some time to come. According to the People's Daily, a study done by China's State Council, the Society of Automotive Engineers, and Volkswagen China, says that the golden age for the country's auto industry will last at least another 20 years. The report says sales will reach 15 million units this year, and by 2030, sales will grow to over 35 million vehicles a year. Moore's Law states that the power of computers roughly doubles every 2 years. Ford is proving this rule true with its Sync system. When the automaker introduced the hands-free infotainment technology 3 years ago, it could understand about 100 commands. Now, after working with voice recognition company Nuance Communications, the latest generation of the system, called My Ford Touch, can recognize more than 10,000 commands. The newest version of the technology aims to be easier and more natural to use. So, for example, it recognizes direct commands like call Autoline Daily or find a shoe store. There's no need to go first to the telephone or navigation menus. It also recognizes what they call aliases, which are different commands for a common function. For example, if you're on the climate control menu, you could say warmer or increase temperature or temperature up, any of which will accomplish the same thing. Talk about progress. Tuesday, we ran part of an interview that we did with Richard Breckus, the head of sales at BMW North America. In the soundbite, he talked about some of the new products the company's developing, and one of the vehicles he mentioned was the X3. Well, now BMW has released details and video of its redesigned crossover. Overall, it's a little taller, wider, and longer than the outgoing model, plus has more ground clearance. In the U.S., you can expect it to be powered by a 3-liter straight 6 with 240 horsepower, or a turbocharged version with 300 ponies. Of course, other markets in the world will get additional engine options, namely diesels. Sending the power to the wheels is an 8-speed automatic. The 2011 BMW X3 will be built in the company's Spartanburg, South Carolina plant. Look for it to go on sale later this year. After the break, we'll take a look at one of the new technologies supplier company Continental is working on. Back right after this.
Introducing Bridgestone's third generation of run-flat tires with groundbreaking new Bridgestone technologies. Bridgestone run-flat tires offer improved ride comfort, lower rolling resistance, and improved wear while giving you the peace of mind and comfort you need.
German supplier Continental makes all kinds of different components, from sensors and actuators to fuel pumps and control modules. Many of these parts are necessary but fairly unglamorous. The average car buyer never sees any of them. But Conti also makes things that drivers interact with every day, like switches and display screens. One new technology under development aims to give car designers greater freedom over what they can do with vehicle interiors.
Normally, displays in the car are just a pure flat piece of glass with illumination behind, which is put in your design surface of your car. And this is a disturbance in your design surface, which has a smooth radii and so on. You have a plastic frame needing to cover the glass, and that is disturbing this nice surface. Designers are always claiming on this point. And that's why we developed a kind of curved plastic surface. And with this plastic part, we can cover the flat glass display so that the design surface can follow for the whole time to cover the display. And this allows now the car designers to create much more elegant, smoothly designed surfaces on your cockpit.
Continental is also a major supplier of instrument clusters. OEMs ranging from Mercedes-Benz to Hyundai buy them. On this front, the company's working on digital gauges, ones that can be programmed to show any kind of information that automakers or drivers want. In a conversation with one of the company's engineers, we learned about a big challenge they faced in developing this prototype, and that was how to get the gauges to sweep across the screen smoothly. She said it took a lot of work to get it right, and so did the small reflective chrome accents at the base of the needles. It'll be interesting to see how automakers implement both of these technologies. Several manufacturers already use digital instrument clusters. Jaguar already has them on the brand new XJ, but they'll probably become the industry standard in a few years. That report was filed by Autoline Daily's Craig Cole. Hey, don't forget to tune in to Autoline After Hours tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, when Jim Hall of 2953 Analytics will be joining us to talk about anything and everything going on behind the scenes in the automotive industry. And that brings us to the end of this edition of Autoline Daily. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.